Hey everyone, welcome back to Rob's Car World. Today's top pick is a beautiful 1985 Mercedes-Benz 380 SL. I found this car out on Long Island. It's on Craigslist. Let's go check this beautiful car out. I found this car a little while ago on Craigslist on Long Island. It's a 380 SL. I own two Mercedes-Benz SLs. I owned the 450 SL that I really enjoyed, and then I had a 560 SL that was also very nice. The Mercedes-Benz R107, as it's called, is the SL, and that was produced from 71 to 89. And the C107 was the SLC, and that was produced from 72 to 81. And the SLC was a two-door coupe that had a solid roof and a four-passenger configuration. The rear seats were a little tight, but it was a four-passenger configuration. In North America, most people gravitated to the convertible because it was a little more prestigious to be a two-seater, and having that convertible drop down in California was what you really wanted anyway. When the car was launched in 72 here in the United States, for some reason they called it the 350 SL, even though it had the 4.5-liter V8. But then Mercedes-Benz quickly renamed it to the popular 450 SL in 73. The big problem that we had here in North America were the 5-mile-an-hour bumpers and the requirement of having sealed beamed headlights in the front. You know, the sealed beam headlights weren't that bad looking. You know, the round headlights weren't bad, but those 5-mile-an-hour bumpers, even when the federal government reduced the criteria in the mid-'80s about having 5-mile-an-hour bumpers, Mercedes-Benz stayed with this styling for North America. It was so kind of ugly that people started bringing cars in from Europe during the 1980s because the foreign exchange rate was very favorable to import something they called the gray market cars. So from 1981 to 1985, the 3.8-liter SL, called the 380 SL, was the only car that was available to North America, and it was the least popular because of, the power output and things like that. So people gravitated to the gray market, and the cars started to arrive here in North America. So you had a small Mercedes-Benz dealer in Germany that was selling 200 cars a year. All of a sudden, he started selling 1,000 cars a year and started shipping cars to North America. And then they had these kind of like Fugazi federalized companies here in North America and Connecticut that they would actually certify these cars as certified, American DOT and federal crash test worthiness. And somehow they got around all the red tape and these cars became certified for North America. So when you see a 500 SL, that was never imported to North America. But when you see a 560 SL, that was the car Mercedes-Benz got smart to do. So from 1986 to 1989, Mercedes-Benz brought in the 5.6-liter SL, and that car became very, very popular. The 84 to 85 380 SL is a good engine because they had a problem with the timing chain. They only had a single band timing chain prior to, and there were some problems with them skipping and had some problems with the timing chain. So from 1984 to 1985, the 380 SL ran a double row of timing chains, and that fixed the previous problem. So this car is an 85. It does have the better timing chains. And to be honest with you, having owned the 450 SL and a 560 SL, owning an SL is more about owning the design of the car than it is about being a power output and how quick it is. I guarantee you, driving this 380 SL around town, getting it on the highway at 80 miles an hour, you'll really enjoy this car a lot because it's all about how the car sits and how the car handles. And it's not really from 0 to 60 times. The people that bought these cars were not drag racing these cars, nor were they really concerned about the high performance aspect of the car. Yeah, they had AMG back in those days do some modifications, but I really like the 3.8 liter SL, and this car for $12,000 appears to be a nice deal. So getting into this car that we see right now, his photos aren't the best. But there's that big federalized bumper back there. It looks in great shape, though. This car sits very well. Some horrible photos, which you see every now and then. But all the bright work and the lights and lenses and things like that, the car comes across to be very nice. The interior is absolutely stunning. He's got the original Becker radio in there, which I like to see when I buy an old Mercedes-Benz. They're terrible radios. They make no sense. They don't sound well, and they're very difficult to use. But at least you know the original radio's there, and all the electronics weren't, tampered with. So I kind of like that. But the interior on this car is absolutely beautiful. The piping, I don't remember them having piping colors on the outside of the seats. I'm not sure if he did this later on, but you'll notice that this brown piping isn't on the seats on the lower portion, just on the headrest. But it is very nice looking. I don't know what that box is, but the trunk area looks really nice. The engine bay, from what we can see, looks to be very nice. A close-up of the engine area. I don't know why he's showing us this, but yeah, it looks like he's did some work, and the car's engine bay, from what I can see, looks to be fairly original. The original spare tire, never used. That's very popular, and that's nice to see. Never had a flat tire, so I'm sure the car was well cared for. All the bright work where the hood goes up and where you put the hard top on looks good. The wheel wells and everything looks nice. I mean, when you see a car this old looking as stunning and nice as it does, the first thing you want to be suspect to is prior paint. So you want to make sure that this original paint and original body work on the car, because the car is coming across to be extremely nice condition. But I would always go with a magnet just to make sure, But overall, this car sits really well. A nice photograph with the sun setting. Guy must be a dealer to take a photo like this. But he does miss out on giving us better photos. He gives us one photo here with the top on, but other than that, there's not too many other photos, like a head-on photo to look at or an undercarriage photo to look at. But that's okay. I mean, we're just hunting this car down, and if it's something that we want, we're going to jump on it, right? So he says he's owned the car for 11 years, so I guess he's not a dealer, so that's a good thing. And again, a lot of people would pass on this car because the 3.8 liter Mercedes-Benz is not as powerful as the 4.5 or the 560. But that didn't stop a Dallas TV show from driving one. And Bobby Ewan's Mercedes-Benz was a 380 SL. And I have to tell you, the popularity of Dallas back in the days, it really launched this car to more people that probably should not have bought one. But everyone wanted to be in an SL when we watched Dallas on TV back in those days. And it was probably one of the most expensive cars you can buy in the showroom at the time. Maybe the Porsche 928 was a little higher in price, but this Mercedes-Benz is absolutely beautiful. There was a time with Mercedes-Benz that you really distinctively knew what you were buying when you went into a showroom. They had the 190 back in the old days, the 300, the SECs, the coupes, and the SLs. It was very easy to do a Mercedes-Benz walk around in a showroom. And each car had its own distinct look and its own distinct demographic profile of who would buy the car. But they were all Mercedes-Benzes, and you felt really good about which one would fit your particular need when you walked into the showroom. Today, when you go into a Mercedes-Benz showroom, everything is blended like a blending machine. I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore, with the exception to maybe the S-Class, which is up $140,000, and certainly doesn't give me anything more than a Genesis would. But I'm not too big on new Mercedes-Benz models. But this 1985 for $12,000, I think it's worth $10,000 easy. And I know many people would say you can find others out there for less money, but please share them with me. So if I'm thinking $10,000 and he's asking $12,000, if it has the original paint and there's no Bondo and the undercarriage is super clean, again, to walk it up from $10,000, $12,000 might not be a problem to do in person. So I like this car a lot, so I hope you enjoy it. If you're not already a subscriber to Rob's Car World, we'd love to see you here. So please subscribe by hitting that little subscribe link and become a subscriber to Rob's Car World. If you enjoy these videos, please give a thumbs up, and please also pass around to friends that love cars, and that's how we're going to grow. Thanks very much for joining us today. Sorry for a long video, but as you can tell, I'm a big fan of this car, and I believe you would really enjoy owning this one. But, do your due diligence, go through the car, ask all the questions. But, yeah, if you can take $10,000 for this car, I'm bringing it home. Thanks very much. We'll see you again real soon.